the storming bohemian punks the muse, avoiding the wing slide into a twilight world of indifference. As the storming bohemian, I have written a fair amount over the last couple of years about creative consciousness lost and found. No one gets into the garden of making for free. No one is guaranteed safe passage, and often we find ourselves outside the gate. It feels sometimes like the childhood game of chutes and ladders. One misstep and down we slide. Then we have to find another ladder and off we go, up and down, through the long afternoon until the final descent into the undiscovered twilight from which no traveler returns alive. Are you laughing yet? My own tickets to ride, not atypically, has been purchased through years of alcoholic indulgence, job losses, intermittent poverty, sexual anguish, and family rejection. That's par for the course and plenty of fun overall, except when it's not. We angst-ridden, news-muddled denizens of the creative underground willingly embrace our necessary outsider status. But sometimes, get real, it sucks, and we deal with it by going numb with whatever tools get us through the night. Booze, pot, walks in the dark, sitting around and not writing, walking about and not painting, listening to our iPods and not practicing. At these times we are frightened, bored children chanting the age-old refrain, "I have nothing to do." Well then go flush your head down the toilet. My mother would suggest this when I was a tot. Today, I just go to sleep one way or another. But being an artist means staying awake and not succumbing to the slumber of an unexamined life. Like addicts in recovery, we artist types must confront our demons one day at a time, acting our way into creative living, always a wink away from a slide into the twilight world of indifference that means creative death. How do you avoid that wink? In my case, I've tried to take Bohemia by storm. I am constantly chasing down the event or the experience that will keep me alert and attentive for another day. In this column, The Storming Bohemian Punks the Muse, I hope each week to share some things I think might punk my muse and keep her on the job so I don't fall asleep. Perhaps some of my ideas will work for you too. Perhaps you'll send me some of your own suggestions. I'd like that, and I promise I'll never advise you to flush your head down the toilet. That doesn't work so great. And the most recent. The Storming Bohemian Punks the Muse, A Little Night Music. When I was 17, I spent a few months working the graveyard shift in a newspaper plant, the Miami News to be precise. I was a typist. Yes, we had typewriters. I sat with a couple of other typists in a long windowless room on the 6th floor. We never spoke to one another. A slovenly guy sat at a big desk at one end, facing the row of tired typists at our narrow desks, each of which had a copy stand. Every few minutes, a copy boy who looked about 100 to me would shuffle in with a sheaf of papers and hand them to the big desk guy who'd stop snoring, look them over, and pass them down to us typists. We'd slap them on the copy stands and turn the scribbled midnight chicken scratches of coffee and Scotch-addled late-shift scribes into readable copy to send downstairs to the printing press. Yes, we had a printing press. It was big, it was noisy, it shook the walls. In the bowels of the building, ink-stained night crawlers would painstakingly pick, letter by letter, using our typewritten sheets to construct the first morning edition, which would start slapping out just about midnight. I'd type thousands of words in a night, reading the details of the police blotter and the local politics voraciously, the social news from Little Havana, and the bizarre magical realist musings of the political class in this Florida Caribbean city of salsa and Santeria, racial tensions and the likes of Bibi Rebozo, millionaires and beachcombers who were sometimes the same. My favorite copy was, of course, the humor column of the late lamented John Kiesler. They don't make them like that anymore. Around 3 a.m. I take my lunch break, stepping into the tropical night and onto Bayshore Boulevard, listening to the slap of the breakers on the boats on the dock and the chains rattling against the wooden pilings. It was always hot and always wet. Across the street from the Miami News was a 24-hour restaurant that catered to us newspaper folk. I sported a 40s-style hat, a black shirt, and a white tie. I thought I looked Runyon-esque. I'd eat huge breakfasts of omelets and Danish and black coffee and read Dostoevsky in the fluorescent light, then totter back to the desk half asleep and hang on until morning. At 8 a.m. I'd step out of that windowless office, to a bustling metropolis of morning folk, editors, ad salesmen, movers and shakers, reporters who actually looked like they'd slept and wore starched shirts, secretaries, cleaning crews, flitting about like sparrows. I slink half-crazed on coffee and sleeplessness onto the bright morning street, still hot but drier now, the sun turning the sky white so I couldn't look. Even the breakers on the bay were like glittering diamonds, too intense for gazing. Man, that was romantic. My suggestion for this week, dress for mystery. Stay up and read Dostoevsky in an all-night diner drinking black coffee. Walk around after midnight, write as if you were 17, watch the sunrise, and embrace the romantic. The world will wait, and you might even return to it with a bit of diamond sparkle to dazzle the mundane.
All right.